Greetings. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to do some paragraphs. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, one of the things that you're going to be using a lot of when you're doing web page development, especially when you're dealing with content, is paragraphs. You're going to be writing a lot of them. Just like you write paragraphs in your word processing software like Microsoft Word, we pretty much do the same thing using HTML. The only difference is in Word, you can simply type a sentence, hit enter, type a sentence, hit enter, and it's displayed just kind of like how you type it here. Well, in HTML, it doesn't quite work this way. If I have HTML document, I have three different sentences here basically, or three different lines. If I go to view these right now, everything would look like it's on a single line. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and save this page, and again, it's just text right now, so it's not HTML yet, but I'm going to go ahead and save it as type HTML, and I'm going to call it paragraphs. I'm also going to go ahead and create a new folder called paragraphs as well. Now, if I go and I look at this HTML file, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see that while my code has three different lines of code here, what's being presented is all on one line. And that's because HTML doesn't know when it doesn't know how to render lines of text like this unless there's some type of special formatting. But just in general, we have to put some structural stuff here in order for this to render properly. So here's how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and delete this line of nonsense for a second here. Let's go ahead and build out our HTML page real quick. I'm going to give it a title of paragraph sample, and close out my head section here. Alright, so in the body, here's the first thing I want to do. We talked about headings in the previous video, so I'm going to type in a H4 size heading, and I'm just going to type in something like this. Let's say blog entry Saturday. Okay. And then I'm going to type in a paragraph. So paragraph starts with the P tag or P. Okay. And then you type in your paragraph contents. And I'll just say today we went to the lake. It was a lot of fun. And then to close out my paragraph, I just put in a closing P tag. So that is a paragraph that has one line, and it's just one line of basically it's two sentences, one line of text. Okay, and let's go render this. So I'm going to click Run and then Launch in Chrome. So all we should have here is an H4 size heading, and then you'll see that there's a paragraph here, and it just says today we went to the lake, it was a lot of fun. Now let's say I have a paragraph, but it has a couple of different lines in it. Let's say I want to say something like this. I want to say, and I'm going to set up a new paragraph, and I'm going to say tomorrow we are planning to go to Worlds of Fun. Should be a good time. I think we're going to rent a car to save Wear and tear on the van. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Okay, now in this second example, right now, this entire paragraph is going to print out on one line. We'll go render it real quick and show you. Okay, so this is a pretty long paragraph here as far as having it all on one line. Now, what I could do is I could take this third sentence here that says, I think we're going to rent a car to save wear and tear on the van. I want to put that on the next line down. This is how you do this. All you have to do is anywhere you want to put a line break, or this, okay, there's an element called a line break, and what this does is it just enters, well, a line break. It's like hitting enter on your keyboard, okay? And it's a self-closing tag, and it starts with BR, and then you just hit space and then / break. Okay? And you put this after the end of the line that you want to have a line break after. Very last thing. In this case, it's after the period after a good time. And this is the end result. Your line break goes right here, and it's basically like hitting the enter key on your keyboard. Okay. Now, anytime that you close a paragraph, what it's going to automatically do is at the end of the paragraph, it gives you a line break by default. So, what I would say is this. If you're going to have multiple paragraphs, then just break them apart just like you have here, where I have a paragraph and then I have another paragraph. Some people, when they code, will have one paragraph and a bunch of line breaks. That's pretty ugly. It's not something that I would necessarily do, and it's also not best practices. You want to make sure that if you have a paragraph that you happen to need a line break or two in, just stick them in there. Okay, don't try to do one giant paragraph and a ton of different line breaks. It's just really ugly coding. Now, one of the things that you'll want to remember when you're doing paragraphs is that you want to make sure that you have an open tag and an end tag. Now, if you don't have an end tag, depending on the browser, Chrome's usually pretty good, but there are some browsers that won't render the page properly. So you always want to make sure that you have an end tag and an open tag. Okay. Now, that's pretty much it for paragraphs. Very simple. If you need a paragraph number, it's just a P tag. If you have a line break, it's just a BR tag. Okay. In the next video that I'm going to show you, we are going to start delving a little bit into text formatting using HTML. So we will see you on that vid.